Hi Alex, nice to meet you. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Thanks for joining today. Let's just get straight into it, and can you tell us what you do and how long you've been doing it?
So I run Alexander Lyons Solutions, and I think I'm going to say 12, 13 years. Dates aren't my best thing. A while, a fair length of time.
Quite a while.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay, so
in its current new form,
yeah,
a year and a half.
okay. And what does
So
that mean? What do you mean by new form? What's changed?
so for a long time, the business was me basically concentrating on one main client, growing it to something pretty significant with two pretty close friends of mine. Um, so I spent sort of 10 years plus pretty much exclusively doing that, growing that from something that was very, very small to something that's a leader in its market now. So yeah, that was the first incarnation of the business, and then a life event happened that made me shift focus,
Hmm.
and now we're growing ALS. So the aim is to, in the same way we took over a world over there,
Yeah.
take everyone and have a positive impact on the recruitment world now. So that's the aim. That's what we're hopefully going to achieve. I'm sure we will. But
So you will.
yeah,
And interesting, you made that big change when the world was in the midst of a big change and
yeah, yeah.
pandemic. So how challenging was that? What did that look like for you?
Well, it was a weird one for me. A lot of people say that the pandemic was very bad, but for me, it was an unusual one because my specialism in recruitment has centered around people working from home. So when suddenly a whole demographic of people that would have told me to jog on, no, you can't work from home, I know it doesn't work, suddenly get forced to work from home, they realize the benefits of it. So actually, from a recruitment perspective, I had my best ever year during COVID.
Wow.
So I think I can't remember the exact number because I get way too many numbers thrown at me now. But I think I did something like 127 plus partner level lawyer placements in 1 year, which was the year of COVID, the first year of COVID.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, it was good. It was good for business, not great for the world, but good for business because it showed a whole world that it's possible to work from home. It can be effective, and actually it brings loads of other benefits. So yeah, it's great for business, and yeah, that's sort of carried on. To be honest, there's a benefit of having specialised in remote working for 14 years because the tech stuff and everything I already had in place. So it was kind of business as usual, to be honest.
Okay.
There wasn't a big, massive effect. We already had VoIP phone systems. All of the systems were provisioned remotely.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff was kind of already there. So there wasn't a big sort of mad rush or panic to change how I was working.
Okay. And do you see that's how where's that market going now? Is there are we there? That's where we are now. We're working from home and that's, or do you see changes going forward?
No, I think there's changes. I daily am speaking to recruiters and to lawyers, are kind of the two demographics of people that I'm speaking to all the time. And increasingly hybrid or remote working is becoming hybrid, and hybrid's becoming, oh, it'll be 2 days in the office. Oh, do you mind doing three? Oh, do you mind doing four? And so there seems to be a bit of a clawing back of people wishing to have people in the office and the sort of the control element coming back. So I think an element of remote working will always exist, and businesses
Yeah,
like mine that are kind of centered around the concept of remote working will continue to exist,
yeah.
and there will be more people interested in that than historically there were. But I don't think a lot of businesses necessarily will embrace the change forever. And yeah, loads of law firms and recruitment businesses are actively trying to pull people back into the office. But in truth, long may that carry on, because the more they do that, the more I can politely say to people,
Yeah.
there's
Why don't
another
you
option.
yeah,
Yeah,
come this
come
way.
work for me or come work for one of my clients. So yeah,
Yeah, got it.
there's always an alternative.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so thinking about your career and either your time as a business owner or working for somebody else, would there be one leader or mentor or coach that stood out for you?
It's tough because I try and learn from everyone I come across,
Yeah,
because if the question is, have I met one person that stands out? No, but have there been characteristics in almost every person that I've met that I want to emulate? Yes.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to learn the best of each person, but I've never met a perfect human, and yeah, I'm certainly not one myself. So there's a huge number of people that I've learned from, but not one person that I've learned everything from. But the first person would be a chap called David who got me into recruitment, because without him, I physically wouldn't be doing it, or I may have fallen into it in a different way, but he got me in and got me learning the basics. So I guess if there's one person I had to sort of thank for my journey, it would have to be him, because without him I wouldn't have even
got you on that
stumbled into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give him that credit.
You give him that, right? You'll have to send him this video. Okay, so thinking about what's the biggest issue you've had to overcome with your business?
So I've been, in truth, way too trusting of people, and that has caused issues. So we've employed some incredibly good people and incredibly talented people, but also taken on some people with very bad intentions, or not very bad intentions, but or people who were looking to take the mick rather than looking to behave properly. So I guess the biggest problem we've had, a mistake we've made and struggle is spotting that initially, and then navigating the path that then inevitably sends you down. But yeah, to be honest, I'm a pretty positive individual. So even in those situations, I would say on balance it was positive, because it taught me something that I didn't know before, that there are people that are there to screw you over rather than everyone being nice. So yeah, there was certainly a degree of naivety in the early days, of just wanting to treat people properly and expect that everyone would treat you properly in response, and that's a lot of the time is the case, but
sometimes doesn't happen.
Not always the case.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so thinking about today and the world we live in today, what is inspiring to you at the moment?
So for me, it's that in truth, it's a massive shift from businesses being at the center of things to some of the world realizing that employees and the people around you are very important, and you need to look after them. And that's what's inspired us for the business, and how we're running ours is very much, if you put the people first and you look after them, then they'll look after you and help you build this crazy, almost cult-like thing I'm looking to build. And I use the term cult loosely. I'm not blood sacrifices or anything.
We'll get that quoted up.
Yeah. Alex is building a cult. No, it's we want people to feel part of something, and working remotely, that can be problematic, because if people don't ever see their colleagues and don't go into an office and don't see people, it can be quite isolating. So there's a huge amount of effort that's put in to make sure people feel part of something and understand the journey and know where we're trying to get and how they're helping us to do it and feel appreciated and all that sort of stuff, so that that sort of sense of loneliness doesn't sort of come into it. So yeah, cult but not cult.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So how does that come across when somebody comes to you and they might be looking for a job with you? What can you offer them? How do you make it not lonely?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of calls. So every morning we have a call that normal recruitment owners would go, oh, you have a call and you have to tell us what you've done and blah blah blah. None of that. We basically talk about whatever nonsense comes into someone's head. So it's kind of what the office banter type chat. We still have that still exists. We have professional groups that we chat in, but there's also nonsense ones where people are sending pictures of anything important to them and the various silly things that you would share if you're in an office. We are always available, so possibly occasionally unhealthily, but if a member of my team is struggling with something, I am available. It doesn't matter whether that's personal or business. We are there for our team, because working life is a massive part of people's lives, and so forgetting that they're a human outside of work, I believe, is unfair and foolish. So we try and look after the whole human, rather than just the, oh, you work for me, so you do this, and outside those hours we don't care. That's not our approach. So I would be surprised if any of my staff felt that we didn't care about them and didn't want to make sure they're okay and all that sort of stuff. And we literally involve them in everything. So if we're hiring someone, they'll be fully aware. If things are going great, they'll be aware. If things are going bad, they'll be aware. We are pretty transparent. There's not a lot that we won't talk quite openly about. So it's quite difficult for them not to feel part of it, because they're aware of the journey, they're aware of how we're getting on, they're aware of where we're at. And it's quite nice, because it's bred an environment where people will talk to me about things. So rather than, if something goes wrong, people having a mad panic and going, oh no, he's going to blow up or whatever,
Sweeping it under the carpet.
I'm the first person they'll call, and we'll have a chat about it, and I never take the approach of, what the bloody hell have you done? It's more, okay, cool, whoops, right, we all make mistakes, none of us are perfect, what can we do to learn from it, or can we fix it? And we sort of spitball it, rather than go at people. Because I do genuinely believe that if we collaborate together and work together, we're way better than any of us are individually. So yeah, it's trying to support people and make them understand they're supported and appreciated and all those sorts of things, which often, in truth, in recruitment, don't even happen in the office, let alone happen in the sort of in more displaced environments. So that's very important to us, and something that we kind of keep going. And as the business develops, and as I become less poor, events and all sorts of other stuff, we are quite openly going to be going a bit nuts on that front. So people will have a lot of opportunity to meet with each other and become friends outside of work and all that sort of stuff. And we've got that building already, and we've got offices as well. So if people want to go and pop into offices, they do exist.
So you're really focusing on the culture and building something. And I know your business is growing at some rate now, and there's big plans going forward. What if we look to the future, what do you see as your main challenges?
So attracting and retaining the best people, that's the key. Our strategy is centered around that attraction of talented recruiters, and we both need to attract them, and retention is arguably the bigger problem, because you can sell someone a dream, but if you then don't deliver on any of the factors of it, they're going to be out just as quickly. And I've seen a number of businesses over my working life that have been great at getting people in, and then almost had a plug the other end going out at exactly the same rate, so they're static and they're never developing. So it's getting that right, and that's quite easy when we're small. And we've got 15 or so people now, so we're not big by any stretch of the imagination. How does that translate when we have 150 people? And it's making sure that you don't just put in the same amount of effort when you're small as you do when you're big, that you actually are constantly increasing your efforts to make sure that you're getting better and better at it. But we've got quite a lot of harebrained schemes in mind to keep people feeling part of something. And I found a space that basically is a cathedral in proportions, that the owner has said that I can put in a go-kart track and climbing walls.
Oh, come on, amazing.
So yeah, it's that will feature as a bit of a hub for people to come to and work from if they want to work from it, and there'll be desks and stuff available. But equally, if we've got a big event, like we want to do a big talk to everyone, or we want to have a fun day or whatever, we'll have a space to use that's ours, as well as traveling around the country to let our team show us where they live, and sort of.
Plus, they're all over the country, are they?
Yeah. So we're literally dispersed all over the place. But yeah, we get together as frequently as we can to sort of make sure we still have that feel of being part of something. But we basically have. I'm quite immature. I'm not going to pretend I'm the most mature person. Like, I'm the least corporate business owner on the planet. So it's almost like an adult version of a kid's birthday party / stag do. Like, that's, if you were to
Can I
describe
please be
events,
invited?
you are more than welcome. But yeah, they exist somewhere in between kids' birthday party and stag do. But yeah, the best thing we found was a crazy golf place called Glory Hole, because there was lots of good social media content around taking staff to a glory hole. So yeah, that was quite satisfying.
I love it. Okay, final question for you, and that is, what would you recommend to a young person starting their first business in today's world?
So, well, depends how committed they are. If they want to just do it as I can't be bothered, don't learn a trade, do something better. But if you are committed to it, learn a lot, learn your world, learn from other people. If you want to start a business and you don't have experience in the thing, don't just go, oh, I'm going to go and start it, bang, and make the mistakes. Have an opportunity to learn your trade, build your skills and everything, and give yourself the best chance, because a lot of businesses fail, and a lot of businesses fail because people go into it thinking that the world is going to just throw things at them and the world's going to be marvelous, and it's not. But owning a business is hard work, and it takes a lot of graft, and it's not all the sort of Instagram and social media reality that is put out to everyone, where everyone's a billionaire and everyone's driving Ferraris and every business owner flies on private jets. That is not the reality. Yes, there are some, but they are in the minority. That most business owners are grinding and working every day and not having many holidays and having sleepless nights when things aren't going well and all of that. So I'd say be realistic, but if you have a passion for something, fully go for it, because the rewards are spectacular if it goes well, and you can set up yourself, your family for generations to come if it goes well. So
yeah,
the upside is huge, but don't be naive to the downside. And also, the biggest thing is surround yourself with people who are better than you are, because if you're not good at something, don't sit there and profess you are because you own the business. Find someone that's better than you and stick them in that role, so that you're surrounded by good people. Don't just put yes people in, because so many businesses just put people in that go yes, 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 and then you're limited by your view of the world, and if you're wrong on something, you're just going to run into a wall repeatedly. So yeah, that was one thing I was taught very, very, very early. And also not feeling stupid asking a question. If you don't understand something, ask the question, and it's not stupid to ask a question. It's the best thing you can do, because that's the only way you're going to learn. And so yeah, I've always been the person that sat in a boardroom or in a meeting going, sorry, could you explain that again? Could you explain that again? Could you explain that again? And half of those people that I've done that with, actually in the end, I haven't needed their expertise, because once they've taught me all of their tricks, I'm like, thank you. Now I will move on. So there is actually a benefit to that. And a chap in the telecoms world taught me that, and he was the youngest director of a FTSE company at the time, and he was worth about 300 million in his early 30s, and he basically did that by being a sponge for information. So yeah, that's what I've tried to emulate, but my memory's a lot worse than it used to be when I was in my 20s.
I have to write some notes.
yeah, exactly. Write some notes, record some things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a lot of good advice for a young person starting business.
Sorry,
so
I've got word vomit. I do apologise.
What's that?
I've got word vomit. So if you ask me a question, I can't answer
not at
yes
all.
or no.
Not at all. That was brilliant. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's the interview finished for now. Then I'm going to link everything with the video. So if there's anything like any event or anything you want to highlight, please let me know, or let me know now, and I can link that.
I will speak to other people, because you know that having good people around you thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue what's going on.
Right,
so other people will let me know.
Brilliant. Yeah. See, having a good team is very important.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.